Barakata Yahweh, Barakata Yahushai, Barakata Yahweh, Barakata Yahushai, Barakata Yahweh, Barakata Yahushai. Call Layim La, Adanaba Yahweh, Bashem Shamalak Yahushai, Bashem Kakadash. So honor to the apostles and the elders, millstone, brief citation, hope for elect. Shalom. And Lord will not come up with a childish video, but I'm just want to mention that, boy, every day as time goes by, especially in this year, turn up, it's like, yo, you're starting to see a lot of women getting their judgment. And boy, if I tell you, man, how insane this type of judgment is, while society is still has some sort of function to it, and while cops could arrest people, and you still see people out here like this guy doing certain things like this. So it says in this local news article happening on Florida, it says woman raped, beaten, held captive for 5 days in Brevard County, deputies say. Boy. But I'm just going to play the clip right now.
Watch each week as host.
Just lock it for that. Just wanted to skip the ad.
In Brevard County tonight, disturbing new details after a woman is held against her will in a Brevard County home for more than 5 days. The Brevard County Sheriff's Office says the man on the left of your screen, Charles Tanner, became enraged, beat, sexually assaulted, and threatened to kill the woman who went to his home in Cocoa. A report reveals that Tanner kept the woman captive in a bedroom and slept in front of the door to keep her from escaping. The woman was eventually able to sneak past him while he was sleeping and ran to a neighbor's house for help. Tanner is facing multiple charges, including sexual battery and false imprisonment.
So mind you, that man did this thing while there was neighbors around him. It's not like he took her in an area where, it's pretty much like, let's just say, a deserted area and did this. Like, he didn't do it away from society. He did it while, neighbors was around him. And they claim that, like, when you go into the article, he basically, did this to her because she pretty much was sleeping around with a so-called black man, and they said that she managed to escape while she was naked to a neighbor's house, according to Brevard County Sheriff's Office. And it says investigators said victim escaped Tanner's home, and just before 2 a.m. she said Tanner had held her captive for 5 days, forcing himself on her, beating her, ultimately causing at least 2 broken ribs. The woman said she had gone over to Tanner's home and the two had engaged in consensual sex, according to the affidavit for an arrest warrant. And however, the woman said Tanner became enraged when he found out she was seeing another man who was an African American, records show. And Tanner then kicked the woman in the head, deputies said. Over the next several days, the victim said Tanner would smoke methamphetamine and force himself on the woman, records show. So clearly that man had, a drug demon, most particularly a meth demon on him. And deputies said Tanner would also use the victim's phone to take pictures of the woman while she was unconscious and send them to her friends. Investigators said they were able to verify this when they recovered the victim's phone. In addition to the beatings, the victim said Tanner also held a knife to her cheek and threatened to slash her face and kill her, records show. Deputies said the woman was eventually able to get away while Tanner was sleeping. Investigators said Tanner had previously been arrested in 2013 for a similar incident in which a woman was found running down the street naked, claiming she had just escaped from her home after being sexually assaulted. Tanner faces charges of sexual cyber harassment, false imprisonment, assault, sexual battery, aggravated battery, and battery. Wow, that's almost tongue-tied right there. Aggravated battery and battery. Wow. So clearly this man had demons on him, and this guy did it in 2013. And it seemed like he got pretty much in trouble with that. And they probably gave him a slap on the wrist because it's like he did it again. This is an Edomite man. Boy, oh boy. You could see the look on that man's face. You already know this man had demons on him. This man took meth. Shit. From here on, I'm just going to go into some scriptures. Lord willing, the hopeful I could be edified. So, boy, Isaiah 32:9, it says, "Rise up, ye women that are at ease. Hear my voice, ye careless daughters. Give ear unto my speech. Many days and years shall ye be troubled, ye careless woman. For the vintage shall fail, the gathering shall not come. Tremble, ye women that are at ease. Be troubled, ye careless ones. Strip you, make you bare, and gird sackcloth upon your loins. They shall lament for the teats, for the pleasant fields, for the fruitful vine." Boy, yo, this is crazy. Like, you women better rise up, man, because you see, you got guys like that, you know, do drugs and shit like that, and it's gonna be coming after y'all. And and he mostly did this to a woman that was an adulteress, so basically she deserved it, in a way. And after he found out that she was with a you know, fucking around with a black man, that's what they said. So showing you that Jake kind of got it, but you know, and I don't know how the woman looked, but most likely it was an Edomite woman. And boy, oh boy, it shows you, man, like, even if that's the case, then it shows you that Esau's woman don't, you know, fuck with Esau, because, you know, Esau don't got the salt like Jake. Just to put that out there, little inside joke. For the most part, it's like, you know, that woman, like in verse 11, it says, "Strip you and make you bare." So literally stripped her naked and shit, and she had to leave the house naked. So that was embarrassing. And this man even took pictures of her, exposing her, you know, naked photos to other, you know, to his other friends. So, you know, he already right there just exposed you. Here, I'm gonna bring out another precept that goes along with this. Oh, another thing I found in another article, they stated that neighbors were in disbelief, and somebody said, in quotation, "It's really, really sad. Who in their right mind will do something like this? They can't be in their right mind," said Ella Adams, who lives around the corner from Tanner. So, you know, that's the one thing that that person said. And, you know, spiritually, that man had spirits created for vengeance on him. And it said he used a racial slur and kicked her in the head. Tanner ultimately barricaded her in his bedroom and repeatedly threatened to kill her. Sometimes I know some news articles, they have a little bit more pieces of information about the, you know, situation. So sometimes I like to bring both of it sometimes. He also said the victim told deputies that Tanner became more paranoid for days of drug use. Yeah. So he's supposed to face a judge on July 26th. And Ecclesiasticus chapter 39 verse 28, "There be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them." Yeah, man, that was a spirit created for vengeance on that man. You clearly see that man was on drugs too. That got him further enraged, you know. Not even driven more demons on that man. And other articles said that he pretty much lured her in, you know, for seeing pretty much a black man and having sex with a black man. So that's the reason why, you know, he did something like that. Jeremiah 4:30, "And when thou art spoiled, what wilt thou do? Though thou clothest thyself with crimson, though thou deckest thee with ornaments of gold, though thou rentest thy face with painting, in vain shalt thou make thyself fair. Thy lovers will despise thee, they will seek thy life. For I have heard as a voice of a woman in travail, and the anguish as of her that bringeth forth her first child, the voice of the daughter of Zion that bewaileth herself, that spreadeth her hands, saying, woe is me now, for my soul is weary because of murderers. That whole lifestyle y'all bitches live in and going by, seeking different guys to sleep with and, being the whore, man, that lifestyle is not going to be it, especially in Jacob's Trouble. As you can see, this bitch got judged while society is still, with police officers that are out there that can arrest these crazy ass men for doing something, things like that. Like, you see, but you got demons on these guys that make them not give a fuck. But this is mostly a message to, to the Israelite woman for the most part, because like I said, that woman, even though they didn't show her, I didn't see her picture of her face or so, but I will highly assume that it was a Edomite woman for the most part. And basically, in Jacob's Trouble, I mean, all you heathen women are going to pretty much be caught up in it too, and y'all going to be catching y'all judgment as well, for the most part. Because as a nation of people, you Edomites are fucking wicked as hell. And, y'all going to pay on this side too. And even in the kingdom, when your ass is in, slavery. But, for you Israelite women out there, man, y'all better take heed to these words, man, because it's just going to get bad out here. I've been seeing a lot of news reports. Women getting killed, women being held hostage like this, and being raped and beaten. And that could be the worst, man, just being held hostage against your own will. You don't know when you're going to leave. You don't know, when is if the guy's going to torture you, how he's going to go about, torturing you. You don't even know when you're going to escape and shit. Yo, that shit is crazy. But that's just the message I want to point out there. Because shit's going to get bad. And like scripture said, you women, if y'all make yourselves look beautiful, it's only going to be in vain. You're going to have these men that's going to come and they're just going to try to attack you because they feel like you play too much games and you want to reject them and shit. And then sometimes you also want to waste their time, and not only their time, but their money too. And she probably was a bitch that did that to certain men. Who knows? Probably got a man on child support. Don't get me wrong, she probably did those shit. And if this is a Edomite, a woman we're talking about, she probably was a Karen as well. Probably fucked around with a Jake or so and just called the cops on a Jake. I'm just saying. Only the Lord knows what she done to deserve something like that. But things like this will be common very soon in the times that we're approaching in Jacob's Trouble. It's going to be very common to see a woman, running from a situation where her ass is getting raped or trying to escape from certain situations to where, men are going to be coming after her and seeking her life on an all-time high, especially in the nighttime. Don't be surprised if those same guys that's flirting with you are going to be the same ones that's going to be trying to seek to kill you or torture you, to hold you hostage and try to torture you and put you in a sex trafficking ring and pimping you out and raping you, Remember that story, the Levite and the concubine? You should read that story because it's going to be very graphic. And the times that we're approaching is going to be worse than any bad time period that ever happened in the history of the Bible. Especially in America for the most part, where most of the calamity is going to happen because it's going to get, America's going to have it the worst. It's going to get really bad out here. But with that, I hope I made the lesson edifying. Let's give all glory, praise, and honor to Adonai, Yahweh, Bashem, Shamlak, Yahweh, Shabbat, Shem, Qadash. Double honors to the apostle and elders, great millstone, peace, citation, and hope for life. Yahweh Shem Shabbat Bakashah, Shalak Rayam, Adawayam, Wagawayam, Wa Ababa Shalom.